Welcome back to the channel and to another episode of Pine Shallows, and possibly our final episode, at least of this load of doing it. Maybe we'll come back and revisit the town again someday, I don't know. Does everybody have their journals ready to go?
Yep.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, Melvin, we will start with you.
Sure. Dear Diary, I still haven't been able to talk to the little mermaid creature. Lee can, which has been good, I guess, so we can communicate with it, but I don't get why it won't talk to the rest of us. Apparently it told Lee it wasn't going to eat us, but it wanted to go home and find its parents. It said they were coming, so we put it in the sea. Hopefully it finds its way home. Dad gave me a book when I got home, Pine Shallows History. I'm going to read it, front to back. Apparently Captain Pollock gave him it. Maybe it's some sort of clue to what's going on inside it.
Okie dokes. Luke?
Dear Diary, we returned the strange mermaid creature to the sea. It was growing into something kind of worse, and that kind of spooked me out. We went round to the fish restaurant as well for a bit, but that wasn't really my thing. I think more than anything, that creature just kind of scared me, so I think we're going to call it a day on that, and hopefully it gets back to where it needs to be.
Awesome. And Ollie?
Ollie would write, I can't believe teachers interrogate me time and time again. But it's whatever. Because, Xander managed to, get birds to die in front of his hideout and there's, a mermaid creature or something. It's very weird. I don't know what's happening. And now I'm, a chef or something. Can we just go back to, summer where it was easy?
And Lee?
Dear Diary, today was amazing. I got to cook with Mr. Crawson, and he actually liked it. I made some of my stuffed seaweed leaves, and Greg made some crab and some aioli, and it was really, really amazing. I kept thinking I'd messed it up, it was going to go wrong, but it went fine. Even the fire wasn't a problem. I almost felt like maybe I could be a real chef. Also, we dropped off the baby mermaid Atlantean thing. And its parents are coming, but maybe they're kind of dangerous. I don't think they'd eat us after we saved their kid, right? But the others seemed kind of nervous, and they all seem to know a lot about all this mermaid Atlantis mythology stuff, so maybe they're right. I just hope it's okay.
So, as we come back, we will head back to Melvin's house as he had just received the book left by Captain Pollock. Will you be reading that now or wait until you're with the gang again?
Yeah, I think I would take it straight to my room and read it.
Okay, I'll pop that into the thing for you then.
Yeah, it's fine. The Mermaid and the Flood. In a quaint coastal village nestled between the cliffs and the sea lived a community of fishermen and their families. The village thrived on the bounty of the ocean, and the villagers respected the sea's mysteries and its creatures. Among these mysteries was a legend of a beautiful mermaid named Seraphina, who was said to protect the waters and bring good fortune to those who respected her domain. One fateful day, a group of ambitious fishermen, led by a man named Jareth, decided to capture Seraphina. They believed that possessing the mermaid would bring them unimaginable wealth and power. Ignoring the warnings of the village elders, they set out to sea with nets and traps, determined to capture the elusive mermaid. After days of searching, they finally spotted Seraphina, her shimmering tail glistening under the sun. With a swift and coordinated effort, they ensnared her in their nets. Seraphina's cries echoed through. Unbeknownst to them, Seraphina's capture had awakened another mermaid, a fearsome creature named Morgana. Unlike Seraphina, Morgana had large, menacing spikes on her back and the power to control the tides and the weather. Furious at the humans for their greed and disrespect, Morgana rose from the depths, causing the sea to churn and the skies to darken. As the villagers celebrated their capture, the first signs of the impending disaster appeared. First, the birds fell from the skies. Then the sea pulled far from the beach for 2 days. Then the sea began to rise, waves crashing against the shore with unprecedented force. The villagers' joy turned to panic as the water levels continued to climb, flooding homes and sweeping away everything in its path. Realizing their grave mistake, Jareth and the other fishermen rushed to free Seraphina, hoping to appease Morgana. With great effort, they untangled the nets and released the mermaid back into the sea. Seraphina, though weakened, called out to Morgana, pleading for mercy on behalf of the villagers. But it was too late. The flood destroyed the once beautiful town, and when it pulled back to gentle waves on the shore, all that was left of the town was a mess of rubble and some heavily damaged stone structures. Slowly, the few remaining townsfolk returned and rebuilt, and that dreaded day became a part of history no one wanted to remember. And then it says flood in what I guess is Atlantean runes.
Okie dokies. So after having read that, will you be calling anybody up, or do you want to wait and tell them?
I think he'd be a little bit panicked because it does mention birds falling from the sky, and that is what happened. I can't remember if when we went to put the little creature back in the sea, was the sea further away than normal, or was it normal?
It was pretty
positioned?
normal, yeah, it was pretty normal.
Okay. So I think he'd maybe like send a message to the group just saying that the book mentions birds falling from the skies and it doesn't sound good.
Okay. So after you sent that message, we shoot over to Xander's house. He comes home to a strange sight indeed. His dad sat on the sofa, suitcase packed. He notices Xander coming in and smiles, pulling him into a hug and apologising for not being around more. The suitcases are for a short family holiday for him, Xander and Kai to reconnect. The flight leaves early in the morning, so Xander calls around to let the group know that he's going away for a bit, but he trusts them now, so they can use his treehouse if they ever feel that they need to while he's gone. We shoot quickly over to Lee's house. She comes through the door and is greeted by her father with dinner on the table. Hey kid, how was your day?
It was okay. Yeah, and I'll kind of move over and sit down. I did some cooking.
Oh, that's great. Is that it? Your cooking club or?
No, I was with some friends and I was down visiting Mr. Crossan, and there was a little fire, but
A fire?
I put it out.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Well done. It sounds like you really saved the day there.
Oh, well, it wasn't just me. We all kind of put it out.
I'm glad you've made some new friends. They sound like they're very helpful people, putting out fires and cooking with you and things.
Yeah, I guess I don't know if they're. How do you know when someone's your friend?
Oh, kid, that's a question and a half. I mean, it depends on the people, and I guess you kind of just have to see if they want to hang out with you again, and if they do, they're probably your friends. Oh, right, yeah. You just have to wait and see if they hang out with you again, and if they do, they're probably your friends, and it is okay to ask.
Yeah. Thanks, Dad.
That's okay. I should go and I'll wash up my food plate. Bye, kid.
Oh, sure. Bye. And Lee gets to eating.
Yeah. The food you have is nice. It fills you up, and your morale and all that is refilled from that as well. And then, is there anything else you want to do after you've eaten?
I think Lee probably just like goes up to her room, kind of takes in the day, but might look out of the window and just over towards where the sea is, towards the bay, and just seeing if she can see anything interesting or anything weird.
You can't really tell for sure, but it does kind of look like the water is. I mean, the tide goes out and back in again, and but it's looking a little bit further out than usual.
Okay. Yeah. I think. So would Lee have already received the phone call from Melvin at this point? Do you think, or was that?
Probably while you were upstairs. Yeah, I would say you probably got that phone call.
Okay. I think Lee sees that, maybe a bit concerned, but for now is just gonna sort of stay and watch and see if it seems to get worse.
Mm-hmm.
For a, I don't know, a little while.
Okay then. And then last but not least, Luke reaches his house and his brother is, as usual, the only one home. Hey bro, we gotta talk. I saw you in town with your friends and that thing outside the library. What was that?
It was just something we found at the aquarium. We were just helping someone out with it. But it's okay. We're taking it back to the sea now, so yeah, it's just a little thing we're doing. I think I made some friends, but not 100% sure. But yeah, I mean, the main thing is the weird fish thing. I think it was a mermaid, but then it was like gonna change into something else, so it's fine. I think it's fine.
It doesn't sound super fine. Are you sure you're not in any danger or anything? I mean, not that I care, bro, but just you're safe, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm here, and I don't know. It was kind of scary, I guess, when it was. I don't know. I felt it might change into something weird, but that's why I left and came back. I just wanted to make sure that I got back okay, really.
Well, I'm glad you're back safe, and those dudes chasing after you look pretty angry.
Yeah, they kind of wanted their jacket back. I think we accidentally stole it, and there was a whole thing with that, but it was fine. Don't worry about it. Well, I'll deal with it.
Look, it's my job to take care of you. And he stops mid-sentence and you notice that he's staring out the window. What's happening with that water? I've never seen it so far out before. The tide's so far from shore that you can see broken little fishing boats and rocks that you never knew were under there before. Several fish are flopping about as if they've been left suddenly without a chance to swim with the water as it got further away. He turns to you and says, "Did you and your friends do this?"
I don't think so, unless the little mermaid creature drank lots of the water. But I feel like it wasn't big enough to do that, so I don't really. I don't think so. What? Can I see how far out it's gone? Is it boats that have been grounded and stuff as well?
Roll your brains.
Yep. It's not good. That is 5.
Okay. You try and get a look out, but your brother is trying to get you to focus on him and explain what the heck is going on with this mermaid that you saw, and now the tide's zooming out. So you don't really get a look in.
Okay. So I'll just kind of be trying to stare out the window as he just kind of moves his head back to face him. And I'll just say, so there was lots of stuff about Atlantean runes, and it's some kind of mythological creature, I think. So maybe it's part of some weird mythology thing, but I didn't think that stuff was real. And to be honest, I didn't think this creature was real either, so I don't really know what to expect here. I should maybe see if anyone else has seen this, because this doesn't seem right.
Okay. So are you gonna call?
Yeah, I'd probably try and call. I don't know, who would I call? I'd probably call Lee first of all.
Yeah, and I think when you call, Lee would pick up pretty immediately. Can you see the sea right now?
I mean, yeah, but kind of super far away. Did the creature like
Yeah.
mention something about this? Like, did it? It didn't say it was gonna like move the water back, or I thought. I mean, I just kind of got out of there because I wasn't. I didn't want to stick about until it got big, but I thought it was kind of okay.
I think Melvin called earlier, and he said that there was something in the book about something like. I think this might be pretty bad.
Yeah, this doesn't seem right. I don't really know what we can do about this though. Did it say anything in the book that Melvin has about like what we can do?
I don't think so.
Hmm. Well, I I don't really know if we can do anything just now. It's kind of late, but kind of concerned. There's like that's really far out, and usually that means like something is gonna come really far in, right?
Yeah, I think so. Right. That was in geography class. They were telling us about tsunamis. I'm gonna see if Melvin's home. He's just a few doors down. I'll call you back, okay?
Okay. I'll kind of hang up the phone and just be like to my brother, I don't know what's happening. There's a book with something about it, but I think Lee and Melvin are going to look into it. They're the people I think might be my friends, but I'm not sure. But I'll just wait for a call back. I'll just kind of sit at the phone and wait.
Okay, dude. I'm gonna go and check out some books that we've got in our shelves. Maybe there's something in there. He goes off to see if he can find anything that relates to mermaids or anything to help you.
I'll just stay silent, just stay staring at this phone on the wall.
Okay. So, Lee, are you going to head to Melvin's house then?
Yeah, I think so. Which I'm imagining, based on what's been established, is very impressive looking.
Okay, so you come up a sort of like gated garden, like not just like a little fence and a gate, like, you know, a big long driveway, a big fancy gate, and arrive at the door. Are you gonna knock? Are you gonna see if it's open?
Yeah, I think we'd just go up and like knock or ring the doorbell or whatever.
Okay. Would Melvin be answering, or do you have staff for that?
I think I was going to say his dad, but now I'm thinking maybe we do have staff. No, I think his dad or his mum or his dad would answer.
Okay. Hello?
He'd be upstairs.
Hi, is Melvin here?
Yeah.
It's
who,
and yeah,
who are you?
Lee,
Oh.
Lee Calavino. I was at the a New Year's party. My
Oh,
parents.
yes. I remember your parents. Don't worry, don't worry. Melvin! Lee's at the door!
Melvin is still reading the book, but he slams it shut and runs down the stairs to see what's going on because nobody normally ever comes to call for him.
Your dad
Lee,
walks away and leaves you two to it.
Lee, what are you doing here?
Hi. Have you looked out at the sea tonight?
No. Why would I have done that?
And just I think kind of moves through, going to find one of the windows that would be looking out over that. Just go. I can't really see it. Like, points to a bit of like dry beach. It's like
Melvin
it's usually over there.
Melvin notices that it's not where it normally is, though it's something he looked at all the time, so it's not something he would have seen out the window because he wouldn't have looked out the window, but he notices it's not where it should be and opens the book again and rereads the bit where it says that the birds fall out the sky and then the sea pulls back.
Yeah.
Lee, when did this happen?
I think today.
In
Right,
the book, after I give Lee the book to read, like the bit where it says as the village is celebrating, blah blah blah.
And
Do you think
over.
it's happening?
But we put it back, right? I mean, I guess they tried to put it back too, but.
Do you think
I mean, it's fine.
Morgana's real?
And Lee just gives you a kind of slightly blank look. I guess if one mermaid is, why not?
Melvin is just like reading the book to see if he can glean anything from it. Do we have to evacuate everybody? Or do you think we can stop it? Maybe you can talk to the little mermaid again and get her to stop it.
Yeah, I can try, I guess. I mean, it's and looking out into the darkness. Do you think it's okay? I mean, maybe we should tell. And I think it just looks over to Mel, or it looks back sort of through the house. Do you think we should tell your dad?
Yeah, maybe. Because I guess he needs to get everybody out if we need to evacuate. Would my dad? I know last time you mentioned that we would be kind of we'd know that magic was a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Would my dad believe that sort of stuff as well, or?
Has your dad grown up in the town?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, he definitely maybe be a bit past believing it just outright, but easily convincible, I think, as he would have had some experiences as a younger person that kind of make him more likely to believe you if you start talking about magic and mermaids and X, Y, and Z.
Okay, then I think I would take Lee to my dad, who's probably in his study now, and kind of tell him everything, and then show him the book that Captain Pollock gave us, and say, like, I think this is why he's given us the book, because he thinks this is what's happening.
Oh, geez, I'm gonna have to evacuate the whole town. I need to make some phone calls, and you kids, don't worry. Just Lee, you go home and let your parents know that they need to pack up, and everybody pack up and leave. But don't worry, I've got this. I will help, and if you know where that mermaid is, maybe go and ask them what's going on. If you can talk to them, and yeah, they might know. They might be able to talk to their parent mermaids about it, and yeah, nothing this big has ever happened here. Well, when in my lifetime, but heck, if I don't believe it, do you know where the mermaid is?
We left it in the sea, but now the sea's gone, and we don't know if the mermaid's gone with it.
Check Skull Cove. That the water it stays in there, and there are rumours of mermaids being there, and that might be your best bet. If if it's not there, then we'll just focus on the evacuation. But yeah, go and check there.
Okay. Can Lee borrow your bike?
Yes, of course, yeah.
Okay, Lee, I'll get my bike and you can borrow my dad's. Maybe we should go and get Luke and Ollie as well.
And yeah, Lee nods and gives a nod up to Melvin's dad. Thank you, sir.
Don't worry about it. Just do what you can, okay?
And yeah, we'll nod and run off to get the bike.
Okay.
Okay, and then we'll go and get. I don't think I would know where either of Luke and Ollie lived, but would Lee?
I don't know if Lee would, but I guess has the number. So
Okay, maybe we'll give them a call to get them out beforehand.
Yeah.
Use the old phone book.
Is the clubhouse on the way to the cove, or is it the opposite way? I can't remember. Okay, so we could tell them to meet us there. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll call Luke and Ollie and ask them to meet us there if they're allowed.
Okay. So are you both going to meet at the clubhouse?
Yep. So Luke would very quickly answer the phone, get the details, and then just kind of shout to his brother that he's going out to fix the sea, and then dash out the door.
Your brother actually tries to stop you just before you leave and says, I found these, and I think it might help. And it's some, like, paperwork about the lab just on the outskirts of town. They're importing a lot of machinery and tanks, like aquarium type tanks.
All right. That was not the tanks I was thinking.
Not tanks like they're not blowing you up, but they're getting
What are they doing to the men?
like aquarium tanks, water holding glass implements.
Okay, so wait, the lab on the outskirts of town is doing. Look, I kind of need to go. Can I take that with me?
Yeah, sure. Take it. Call if anything happens, or if you need my help.
Okay. Yeah, I might need you to get some stuff later on, but yeah, I'll let you know if I do. Right, bye, and just kind of dash out the door with a book in hand and just start cycling.
What about Ollie?
Yeah, Ollie would probably be... Well, yeah, so Ollie would nip downstairs after getting the call and probably try and, like, not bump into either of his parents, whoever's in the house, and would just, like, scribble a note and leave it on the dining table saying, nipped out with friends, we'll be back before... Like, we'll be back soon.
Okay.
And then just, like, flick his roller skates on and boost for the clubhouse.
Amazing. Okay. So you all arrive at the clubhouse, which I will remind you now has a secret escape, which is a rope swing, and a first aid kit, which can boost you 1 morale when healing injuries. But I don't think any of you have any injuries at the moment. You also, I assume, left the jacket there, which has a key fob and a pass with the name Tim Barr on it.
So,
right, yeah. So I would show Luke and Ollie the book and point out that it's happening. My dad said that maybe we should go to Skull Cove because that's where the mermaids normally live and hang out, and that's where the little one we had said it wanted to go. So I guess we need to go there.
I mean,
oh,
yeah. that makes sense. I was just like looking at this, and I'll kind of pull out this book and say, yeah, my brother was saying that there's this lab on the outskirts of town that's been like importing lots of machinery and fish tanks and stuff. So I don't know if that might have something to do with all this. But yeah, maybe if we can try find the mermaid thing again, and we can see if that knows anything. But it seems kind of coincidental.
Is there a logo on the Tim Barr or whatever he's called on his like pass thing that would make it obvious it is the pass for this lab?
Roll your brains.
10.
10? Okay, yeah, you'll remember seeing like vans just passing sort of by the edge of town with this logo and heading towards like the outskirts where this lab is, and it's the same logo that's on this badge.
Okay, so we know that the pirates must have something to do with the lab. So yes, I think maybe we need to check them both out, but we can sneak into the lab with the pass. And then I look at Lee because it's Lee's jacket.
And Lee looks back. So you think they took the baby there again?
If it's not at Skull Cove, then that might be somewhere that they have taken it. Should we go together, or should we split up?
Well, maybe if some of us go to Skull Cove and the others just keep a watch at the lab so that we can keep an eye for anything. But we could all just go to the cove first, because if, I can't believe I'm saying this, the baby mermaid is not there, then there's only one place it can be.
Unless it got dragged out by the tide.
And it's just history repeating itself. I honestly think the cove has to be the first stop.
Yeah. Is it like, if you were to draw a map, would it be like the town, the cove, the lab, or would it be the town, the lab, the cove?
It would be like, I don't know if I could actually draw a map because I'm not good at explaining directions, but it's kind of like the town is over here. You've got like the sea, the waterfront, then the cove is up here and the lab is like down here.
Okay, like a triangle.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I guess if everyone's happy to go check out the cove first, then the lab, or we do it the other way around.
Yeah, let's try the cove first. Maybe
Yeah,
the
always.
pirates just gave up.
Ollie's the same. He's just like, yeah, I mean, if the book's to be believed, it sounds like this baby needs a bit of backup in convincing its mum not to flood the entire town again.
Okay.
Yeah, let's definitely make sure that doesn't happen.
So you all hop on your bikes or your roller skates and head for Skull Cove. As you find your way into the cave, it's a dark and rocky place with a moon pool in the center. A bit of light shines through some holes that are, if you squint, kind of shaped like the eyes and nose of a skull. And the light sort of shines onto the moon pool and it's sparkling, slightly lighting up the rest of the cave. And you see some movement under the water. Everybody roll your brains for me.
7.
5 again.
9.
Okay.
One moment. I have totally missed it. That is a 7. Yeah.
Okay. So you guys see just about through the water the figure of a mermaid, like a full adult-sized mermaid. Not the scary spiky ones. Just, your average lady with a tail. And also a smaller little mermaid who's definitely bigger and more mermaid looking than what you dropped off at the docks earlier. But definitely a lot smaller than the full-grown adult mermaid.
Melvin just looks at Lee because Lee is obviously going to have to talk to the baby.
And Lee looks over back. I thought, you seem to know a lot about mermaids and stuff.
But I can't talk to it. You need to tell it and ask it what's going on.
Maybe you could talk to the big one.
Melvin's like,
And he kind of starts taking a step forwards, but it's a bit. Seems a little
Ollie's
uncertain.
right behind Lee, yep, come on.
push Lee into the water.
No, yeah, Ollie's been around cheerleaders long enough. He knows how to be rah-rah supportive. So
Yeah.
Yeah. So the mermaid hears you guys sort of not quite bickering, but having this discussion above the water, and she doesn't look pleased to see humans, to say the least. I need you all to roll your brawn for me, and it's going to be against hers.
Yes, now we're talking.
Let's go.
12.
5.
Surprisingly not terrible. 8.
11.
Yes.
She
Come
got
on.
2. So she goes to sort of lunge at you and just sort of ends up splashing a little bit of water. She's used to a bit more space than just the moon pool. What do you want?
And do we all listen English?
Yes, this is in English. You can understand.
Melvin is just gawps, open-eyed, because suddenly he understands the mermaid.
Yeah, Luke will just turn to Lee and be like, "Oh, I think I can understand it now."
Yeah.
The little baby one pops up out the water. Mum, no, they're my friends. The ones I told you about. You can all understand now.
Oh.
Hi guys, I found my mum.
Yeah. Wait,
Are you
yeah,
okay?
This is a lot. The full-grown mermaid that could turn into big spiky thing. There's people that we think are gonna try and steal you and put you in a tank.
Oh
Do
no.
you know Morgana?
Yeah, she's my grandma.
Did your grandma get stolen at all? Is she still doing okay, or did someone try to take her away?
Oh, grandma's fine. I think she'd probably kill anybody that tried to touch her.
Oh, okay, she's one of those.
Oh.
Okay, that.
Yeah, you humans kind of snap in half real easy.
Are you trying to drown the city?
I'm
Or
not.
flood it, or...
Mum, are you trying to drown somebody? No, I'm not. But listen, my mother, she's very protective of our tribe, and we think somebody's taken some of them. Just our little babies, freshly hatched.
Oh.
Oh, wow. So you've got brothers and sisters and siblings and stuff?
Yeah, I guess so.
Oh, wow. We don't want to. Well, we can try to get them back. And then kind of realizes like what she's promising. Looks over to the others. Can we try to
No,
get them
I
back?
think you're right, Lee. Like, we have to do something because, I mean, there's no chance we're going to convince any adults to help, is there? I mean, Chris's brother said it that, like, or Luke's brother, sorry, says that there's tanks already there, so it's the only explanation.
So you know where to go. Listen, I've got to stay here, and with the tide being so far out, we're kind of stuck. If you know where they might be, please, I know you're only young, but you have to help us.
If we help you, will you stop them flooding the city?
There's only so much I can do, but you've got about 2 days before the wave comes. If you can get the babies back before then, I don't think that my mother will flood. I don't think she'll send the wave.
I guess we gotta try and do something.
You
I
have to
mean-
hurry. She's very hard to reason with.
Well, yeah, as the legend suggests anyway. The last time anyone tried to help, she did it anyway.
And I think Lee's gonna lean down to the baby. Could you just tell her that we tried to help you and other people? I mean, there's the people here are nice. Maybe not the pirates, but most people aren't pirates. And I think most people are nice. And maybe you could just tell her that if she could wait a little, I think everything would be okay.
We tried. We did before she pulled the water back, and she just wouldn't listen. She said that her family's more precious than any leg walkers, and she'll do what she has to do.
Okay. Lee kind of looks down a little worried and a little self-conscious about her legs all of a sudden.
Just while we're there, could Luke just kind of go over to the younger one and just be like, "What's your name, by the way? Do you have a name, or do you can we pronounce it, or?"
You can choose my name. Usually the humans are the ones that name us.
Oh, okay.
Usually our first kill, but I don't want to kill you guys, so you can choose my name.
Oh, okay. And Luke will just kind of look around at the group, see if anyone's got any ideas.
How about pacifism or herbivore or I don't know, maybe don't eat us is a great name.
Herbivore sounds kind of pretty. Herbivore! And she just spins round and does a cute little...
Yeah, let's go with that. And hey, you've already got your first nickname, Herbie.
Herbie! Yay! I could be Herbie.
Yeah, and herbs don't eat people.
Okay, I won't eat you guys.
Herbie, why
Good.
did you only talk to Lee before? Why wouldn't you talk to the rest of us?
Oh, I don't know. I was trying, but you guys just couldn't understand.
Oh. I'll read a bit about that.
Yes, I like your books. I don't know that they do very well under the water. Maybe I could come back to the cove sometimes and we could read together.
You can get waterproof books, although they're normally just for babies. But maybe there'll be adult ones too.
That'd be so cool.
I'll try and find one for you.
Thank you.
If we don't all die before then.
Well, I hope you don't. Hopefully you can save my siblings before my grandma gets real angry. Although I guess she's already real angry. But maybe we can stop her.
How many siblings are there that we need to save so that we know that we've got them all?
The mum mermaid looks at you and says, "There's 2."
Okay. And no other people that you know of?
Not that I know of, no.
Okay. We'll just release everything we find.
That sounds like a good idea. Although, if you see any piranhas, maybe just leave them in there. They've been bothering us lately.
Okay. And I just look at the rest of the group and shrug.
We'll be back soon, okay?
Thank you. Thanks!
And yeah, I guess we're heading on to the lab.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so as you arrive at the lab, you find yourself in front of 2 large metal gates just at the entrance to the woods. You can sense something isn't right in there. The facility has been here just outside town for a little longer than you guys can really remember, but no one in town has ever been in. No one from the town works there. And the staff just kind of pop out every now and again for a meal at the Pickled Herring. So you don't really know anybody that works there, and you don't really know what's going on inside. You just see 2 metal gates and a bunch of trees.
Do any of the trees hang over the fence?
Roll your brains.
Right.
Oh,
9.
very nice. Yes, there are a few trees that are hanging over the fencing.
Does the fence have a thing that we can swipe in on?
Ooh, roll your brains as well.
The duality of man. Brains and
10, 11 even.
You notice on the, like, just right next to the big metal gates, there is a, like, security thing where you can swipe a card and it just sort of insert a little key fob.
They have to do both.
Mm-hmm.
And we just have the card, right?
No, you should have the key fob as well. It was
Alright,
in the
okay.
jacket.
Yeah, I think that's help with it. Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. Well, I guess we could just swipe in.
Aren't they gonna like see us if we do that?
I guess we should check for cameras, maybe? It might nosy round, see if there's anybody about or security.
Mm-hmm.
I was very ready for Greg to be like halfway in the middle of climbing over.
Just like halfway up the tree and like, oh, we can swipe in.
yeah, like Ollie's like is at the bottom of the tree, like planning his route and stuff. And he's like, oh wait, there's like a pass bit. Oh.
Okay, so if anyone wants to look around for security,
Mm-hmm.
If Ollie does climb up that tree, I will give you advantage on looking for security.
Yeah, I think he's gonna climb it anyway because it's a perspective. Like he's gonna be a high place to look at.
Mm-hmm.
So advantage on what are we rolling for?
Brains.
Like brains.
Just see if you
That's
can
8.
identify any security personnels.
Natural 12
Ooh,
Yay.
amazing. Okay.
with a +0.
So you see that there are 2 security guards. One is nearish to the actual entrance to the facility. That's like, so you open these gates and you can see like there's like a straight path up where like all the trucks will come up the driveway to deliver things. And there's like a big warehousey entrance, and then there's like a front door that's like, if you're going into like the business side of it, and then the dropping off delivery side of it, and there is a security guard by each of those, but sort of wandering around nearby, not like stood at the door guarding it.
And it looks like we would have like enough time to kind of get in through that gate and then like dash off to the side or something to kind of stay out of the way, or are they kind of right there?
No, they're like I say, there's a long driveway, so you would be able to, and there's a lot of trees still within the enclosed area, so you could hide behind trees, and you could just march up the driveway and hope they don't see you until just before.
Yeah, I'll slide down the tree and relay that to everyone and be like, yeah, we could like easily swipe the gate and like try and hide somewhere to sneak up. I mean, it's the best option unless anyone else fancies climbing a tree.
I think it's our only option, isn't it?
I think.
Unless there's a way in around the back. Is it easy to get to the back of the building to see if there was an option around the back that's less heavily guarded?
No, you can't see a way around. It's very much just like thick forest.
Okay.
Also, on a natural 12, I will say that you could also sort of see there weren't really any lights on. There was just some maybe dim lighting. So it's like probably nobody's working at the moment apart from these security guards.
Cool.
Right.
So yeah, I think we should probably just go for this gate. Like how? I mean, does Ollie know like how regularly like they're walking around, or like any way that we can time that? Like, can we see them through the gate? I guess like to kind of time when we want to be doing this.
I'll let you have a brains roll for it.
Okay. That's better. That's an 8.
Okay, so you can kind of see through a little bit of fence, like kind of poking through the trees and relaying with Ollie about it as well, that they're not really going anywhere. They're just kind of wandering around a general zone. They are moving away from the doors, so there would be a chance for you to slip into them. But you would have to be like careful and stealthy about it.
Okay. I mean, I think I'd probably just kind of start getting closer to the door and just kind of getting everyone to get close and like everyone get ready before we do anything.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
Lee, do you have the key card? Do you want to get ready?
Yeah, I would pull that out of the pocket. Yeah, got it.
Okay. Is everyone ready?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Ready as that can be.
I'll see, kind of try and time it as best I can through this like narrow crack, and then kind of give Lee the go ahead and just be like, and now.
Yeah, and just kind of slams this whole key card, key fob, lanyard, everything.
Okay, so as you unlock the door, some very faint orange lights above the gates do flash, and the doors slide open quite loudly, and the security guards come over in your direction. But they're used to, people coming and going, especially late at night. So they're not like in a hurry or anything. But it might be an idea to find a spot to hide in.
Yeah, that's like as soon as the bright lights and scrapes of metal start like screeching across the air, it's just Ollie's like sprinting through the gate and heading for like the biggest tree you can find or the biggest thing you can hide behind.
Just checking, are you still wearing your roller skates?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to need a brawn from everybody who's trying to hide, and anyone who is still on a pair of wheels will need a disadvantage.
Yeah. That's 8. So it's a 10.
I think that Melvin would have gotten off his bike when they arrived and leant it against the fence, so it would just be against the fence.
Okay.
Same with Lee.
An 8 with disadvantage.
Okay.
Done.
That is going to be an 11.
12 for me.
Okay.
9.
Amazing. So you all managed to hide within the trees, and the security personnel just come and check the gate. They look around and they're kind of very confused because there's nobody there. And they just chat with each other for a bit by the gate.
Okay, I guess we could make use of them doing that to get in the door.
Yeah, they'll try and
We're
sneak
fast
behind
enough.
them, right?
Yeah. Can we see if there's like more swipes at the door, or do we just go in, or?
There will be more swipes at the door, yeah. I won't make you roll for that one.
Okay, so I guess Lee needs to get us in first then.
Yeah, I think would be maybe just holding out the card at this point, holding out the key fob. Ready to tap it anywhere it's needed.
Okay. So do another brawn again for me just to see if you can sneak past them effectively.
Still with disadvantage?
Yeah, still with this event.
No problem.
9
not
for
bad.
me.
9.
8.
Melvin gets hench when he's
The adrenaline's pulsing through you.
Pressure makes diamonds. 11 with disadvantage.
Oh, wow. Okay.
That's a 6, so I think I'm gonna spend my plot points to reroll
Okay.
because this seems important. That's still gonna be a 4. So
Ooh, okay. So you guys all sneak off. Have you passed off the key card at all, or are you the one with it still?
I think it sounded like I was still carrying it.
Okay. All right. So
Yeah.
you
In which
guys
case-
sneak off. You Lee trips over behind them.
So here's what I think Lee is doing.
Okay.
Like, Lee taps this key fob, the gate opens up,
Uh-huh.
and then is like about to follow and is like, oh, I should put this back in the jacket, but is like trying to put it into
Okay.
the pocket of a jacket that she's not wearing, she's just holding. So
So,
she's just kind of
yeah.
awkwardly jamming this into the, it's catching
Yeah.
on the fabric and all.
So they overhear you. Everyone else has run off down this long driveway, and you're there still trying to jam this thing in your pocket. Hey, who are you? What are you doing here?
Hi.
You're not supposed to be here. What are you doing? Come out.
And Leah's gonna step out
Okay.
and holds up the card. I'm Tim.
I'm gonna need.
Tim Barr.
I don't know what this should be, role wise. I'm gonna say a heart roll against their brains.
Okay. Ooh, I am not rolling well. That is a. That is going to be 3 plus 4, 12 plus 2, so 5. I guess I'd have gotten a plot point from failing one, right? Or oh no, you only get an XP from failing.
Oh yeah, you got XP.
Yeah,
Yeah.
plot points from doubles. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, in that case, that is going to be a 5.
Okay, so you meet it, beat it. So technically you have succeeded, but they're not really sure.
Okay.
Have you got your jacket, your uniform?
And Lee just holds up the jacket, then kind of like awkwardly shimmies it on. I imagine way too large for this adult man's jacket.
I think you should probably talk to HR about getting a better fit size there for you, Tim.
Yeah, it's you know how they are in HR. It's real bureaucracy.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Listen, what are you doing here so late? The shift doesn't start for another few hours.
And Lee's summoning all of her knowledge of jobs.
Mm-hmm.
Overtime?
Did the boss call you in?
Yeah, I had to stay late on a big project, you know. It's the other guys have really made a mess of it, you know. They really they're all just they some of the people don't know what they're doing, and I gotta bail them out, and you know how
Oh.
it goes.
What project?
Can I just interject and
Project
say,
Atlantis.
can Luke just like obviously be aware that Lee is being held up,
Mm-hmm.
and then try and do a wolf howl?
Yeah,
yeah.
sure. I'm gonna say brawn on this one just to be loud enough that they hear you.
Okay. God damn it. 4 + 2 for 6.
Oof.
Yeah, we spunked all the good rolls early. Here they come.
So they hear you making some kind of noise.
Oh!
They're like, what was that?
Can we all start howling?
Yeah, all of you roll your brawns.
What are we rolling for this one?
Brawn.
Brawn. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
To sound loud and scary.
9.
Yeah,
Nine.
also a 9. Yeah.
Okay. So you guys actually successfully howl.
How?
So like, what was it? Oh, hold on. There aren't wolves here, are there? Oh no. Oh, I'm gonna go and radio the other guys just to make sure we can maybe get some backup, in case these wolves come down into the enclosure. Tim, right? You should get on with your project. I don't want you getting eaten by wolves.
Yeah. It's yeah. Catch you guys at the water cooler.
Yeah, buddy. Have a good shift, I guess. And they just walk off and go and radio in for some help.
And yeah, I guess runs after the others. And as she arrives, like slightly out of breath, guys, I think there's some wolves around.
Melvin just howls at her.
Yeah.
How?
Oh,
Are you a werewolf?
yeah. It explains why I'm stronger and faster than everyone.
That's why I suddenly became really fast and sneaky.
And Lee just shrugs and nods, like, "Yep, that does explain it."
You do actually hear some wolves howling back in the distance.
But when you moo at cows and they'll moo back at you, it's the best feeling ever.
You've
I
got
look
the
at
approval of the
like, what?
wolves. Okay.
Okay.
So
We better go in.
which entrance are you heading to?
I think Ollie, with like the perspective that he had, would probably point towards like the warehouse side, like to the dock doors, rather than like the kind of office building part. Because his process is if the tanks are big enough for what he thinks they're trying to do, then that's probably going to be the place that they'll be. So
Okay.
you would just like say to everyone, yeah, we should go to like the warehouse side because
Is that gonna be is that the nearer one to where we are though? Because maybe we need to just get in and away from security. Then I don't know which one's nearest.
the main like the business side of it, front door would probably be the one that's nearest to you.
And to get to the warehouse one, are we
You're just following.
exposed for a while?
Yeah, you're following like a clear driveway down, like quite a wide one.
Okay. I mean, if we're not going to get caught by security, because they just think that Tim is here, not Tim and his 3 companions.
I think so because the lights are dim anyway. So
Yeah. Okay. Can we stay in the trees to get to the warehouse? Is there still enough tree?
Yeah, there's still enough trees.
All right. Okay, that's cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Roll
Cool.
your brawn again to get to the warehouse then.
Oh, so I'm at disadvantage again because
Yeah, unless you've
Idiots.
taken the wheels off.
12 again. I got a 12 again.
Oh my god.
yes, Caroline. Carrying.
Melvin's just powering away
Yeah,
through the
100%.
forest, knocking trees out of the way as he runs.
And what's that for a moment? A flash of claw? Serious? I got an 8. So,
Right.
better.
I got 10.
I'll... Wait, maths. 11.
Oh, okay. And what did Luke get?
10.
A 10. Okay, so yeah, you all make it safely to the warehouse door, and there is obviously the key fob and the badge needed to get into that.
Yeah, so like Ollie will just kind of point to Lee and work your magic, Tim.
Yeah, and Tim's going to go up and swipe his card. Another day down at the office.
Okay, a gentle buzz sounds as the warehouse door sort of like lifts open like a big garage door. And you step inside to the main lab. It's dimly lit with rows of large water-filled tanks glowing an eerie blue light, casting rippling reflections on the metallic walls. Strange instruments and computers with flickering screens line the room, while a large observation window overlooks the biggest tank, where you see a silhouette of 2 fairly large worms. The room is quiet but for the hum of machinery and some sloshes of the water from the tank, and the air is tinged with that salty scent from the ocean. In the far corner, there's some crates labelled with cryptic codes, and they're stacked high. A sense of danger hangs in the air as you take in the room. It won't be long before the staff start clocking in, and those security guards come back and start doing their rounds some more. I have set one of the clock things with 10 segments. So you've got to not fail too many times, otherwise they'll be coming.
Okay.
What are you going to do?
I think Melvin would immediately go, well, obviously check that there's nobody else in there first. And then if, assuming there is nobody else in there, up to the, he said like there's a viewing platform or something.
Yeah.
You'd probably hop on that just so to get a view of the land.
Okay. So on the viewing platform, you can see sort of like, you get a better view of the whole lab, and you can see like there's nothing in these tanks, but the water in them is definitely not just seawater. There's something else in that water. The computers are all turned on, but they'll need a login to get into. Obviously, there's the crates in the corner with weird symbols on them that you guys will recognize as Atlantean. And then there is the big tank, which is filled with just sort of like general underwater things like rocks and anemones and seaweed. And obviously the 2 quite large worms.
So where are the worms? Are they in one of the tanks at the moment?
They're in the main big tank.
In the main big tank, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I guess that's Herbie's siblings. And I like point to the worms.
Ollie's gonna take his skates off, and like hang them from a backpack that he's probably brought with him with like trainers in it. And he's gonna look for a couple of buckets, because as he's taking his skates off, he's like, we forgot one thing. We need to figure out how to get these things to the cove, because they need to be in water, right?
Yeah. I guess if there's like bags or, like you say, buckets, we're gonna need those.
Take these worms like fair goldfish.
Are there any, like, I'm not sure what the term is. Not wheelbarrows exactly, but you know, the kind of like wheelie rack things that you'll use to move crates.
Oh, sack barras, yeah.
Yeah. Have we got any of those around if there have been crates being brought in?
Roll your brains.
Okay. Better. That is going to be 10.
Okay, so over by the crates, you can see some like, like at IKEA, you've got the things you slide under the boxes and you can push them around to the checkouts. You've got some of them, but there's nothing
Flat
like
trolleys.
that would hold water in that's like that big. I mean, there's crates, but crates have gaps in between them.
How big are the worms? I know
Yeah, I
you
was
said
about to ask.
large worms.
So they are like arm size.
So I was just comparing my arm to a cup.
Yeah, just like cola for
Hold on a second.
Okay, so something like bucketish would be the best option.
And so, wait, yeah, Ollie will like look round and see the crates have got the writing on it, and look at Melvin and go, Melvin, you know how to read that, right?
Yeah, I was gonna
Say-
say I think Melvin would be attracted to like trying to work out what that said rather than like actually being of any use. So am I able to read it, or do I need to roll brains or something?
Roll your brains.
Oh, brilliant! 6, 7, 8, 9.
Okay, that's not too bad. You read the crates and translate it, and it just says toxic.
Oh, yeah. It just says toxic, guys. So maybe we should just leave them alone.
Yeah.
Can I see a phone anywhere in this room?
Yeah, there is a phone near the computers.
Okay. Can I call my home from that phone?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm just looking to try and get in contact with my brother.
Yeah.
So if he picked up, I'll just say, hey, so we're trying to sort out this whole sea thing. So I'm pretty sure we've got it in hand, but can you just like come to the lab on the outskirts of town and like just try and like cause a distraction outside? This is using one of my plot points for trying to remember what the name of it is now, which is either help me or I'll tell Dad.
I love that. Okay.
So I can convince one of my older siblings to do something for which you'd normally need an adult.
Yeah.
So I just want to basically convince him to come out to the lab and cause some kind of distraction out front.
Yeah. Okay.
Incredible.
Yeah, you can do that. No problem. Yeah, I'll come. I've got a few things I can think of. When
Okay,
do you
thanks.
want the distraction for?
Well, God damn it. I was gonna say when you hear a wolf howling, but then there might be actual wolves in the
Maybe one of us could go into the. Does anyone have a torch? Do I have? No, I don't have a torch. I was gonna say maybe one of us could go and like flash a light out of the office windows or something, but
Damn. Do we know? So, like, obviously, we know we're kind of on a bit of a timescale for people coming in. Do we have any idea of, like, when that might be, like, in terms of like just general time? Like, do you know roughly what time people may arrive here at for work, or are we not really sure?
Roll your brains.
Okay. That's a 9.
Okay. So you probably have about 3 hours.
Right. Okay.
You can see a little time, like a clock in thing with shifts on,
Okay.
fairly near the computers. So
Okay. I'll just say, just if you get here when you can, and when you hear like a wolf howling, I'll howl 3 times, and that will be me. Just watch out because there might be some other wolves. So like, hopefully they don't howl 3 times. But yeah, it should be okay.
okay, I don't think real wolves howl 3 times in a row. So I'll try my best, dude.
Okay. Cool. Thanks. Bye. And then
Bye.
just hang on the run.
Okay. So just to warn you, you are on 3 of your 10 segments.
Yeah, I think Ollie's like just focusing on finding a bucket or some form of device to like dig these and carry these worms back to the cove.
Mm-hmm.
So he's just gonna like start like looking around the whole facility, like the not the facility, but like the lab that we're in just now, and just kind of like pulling open anything he can to find something he could use.
Okay. Roll your brains.
Brains.
Yes.
9.
9. Very nice. Okay. So you find some drawers that will come completely off their hinges, and there is a cupboard looking well, I mean, it's a door, but you can assume it leads to a cupboard. And you would need like a number code to get into that, and there might be some like things in there you could use.
Oh, okay. So like a kind of Janny's cupboard type thing.
I was thinking Melvin most likely be looking to see if there was any like books or things that were in there that might give him some information about anything, or even just like looking at the desks of people to see if there was like scraps of paper or anything that had anything interesting on that might help us with what's going on.
Okay. You roll your brains as well, please.
Oh dear.
Oh.
Apparently I'm just like really strong and not very brainy anymore.
How the turns have tabled.
The adrenaline's just taken over.
I got a 6.
Ooh, okay.
Oh dear.
1, 2. Ooh, you're 6 out of 10 now.
Oh god.
Yeah, you I mean, you see some books on the table, but you just don't really clock them. You know, you're kind of out the corner of your eye, but you miss them because you're just so full of adrenaline right now.
Oh dear.
What's Lee doing?
So we still haven't found any way to transport the worms, right?
Not yet, no.
Yeah. Then I think Lee is just gonna head over to the tank and just tap on that a little. Excuse me. I don't know if you can hear me, but if you can, do you think if you could be not worms, that'd be really helpful.
Mm-hmm.
And then we can get you to your parents, and so if you could just get a bit bigger.
Roll your hearts.
Okay. Come on. That is 10.
A 10? Okay.
10.
They swim over to you as you start talking to them and tapping on the glass. And they kind of seem to know what you're saying. And then one of them swims over to one side of the tank where you can see one of the crates. This one has different symbols on it. And there's just the one crate there, but it's quite a big crate with the different symbols on. And it seems to be like it's trying to show you this in response to what you said to it.
Okay. Yeah, Lee will open this crate.
Okay? Inside the crate, you find just a bunch of dead fish.
Okay. Yeah, and I think Lee gets the gist, and he's just going to pick up some of these fish and drop them into the tank.
Okay? The worms, like, they've got like teeny tiny little mouths at the end of them. And they just really massively open their mouths and just chomp the fish. And then you start sort of seeing them, like bits of their wormy bodies are like poking out and wobbling. And they sort of grow more into what you recognize as the little baby sea monster, mer baby thing from when you first met it.
Yeah, and I think seeing that, Lee looks over to the others. I think. I think they're growing. So maybe we can just carry them out.
Do we know that they can breathe out of water when they're not? Because could the other one? Because we kept it in a tub or whatever.
At least partly, right?
Roll your brains. Anybody that wants to sort of.
Oh, can I use my plot point as a? Because I've read about this.
Yeah, of
and
course.
Just know that.
Yes, you would know that
I've not used it.
they can breathe a little bit out of water, but they would get like ill and very upset not being at least somewhat touching water.
Okay, so do I know like a time limit for how long they could be not in water at all?
Yeah. So it is about 20 minutes to half an hour that they can be out of water without getting upset.
Okay. If we're taking them without any water, then we're going to have to be really quick to get back to the cove. We've got like less than half an hour. But if we could find like a bottle of water or something, we could take them and just keep splashing them now and then, and that might help.
And then, like, when Melvin says that, Ollie just like rips the drawer from like the desk or whatever, and just scoops like a little bit of water off the top and says, "What about this?"
Seems okay.
But just Chris, I keep saying Chris. Said, look, Jesus Christ. Like, I heard on the phone, you were talking to your brother about a distraction.
Yeah, just to try and help us get out, because I've got a feeling we're going to have a time getting out with these things with us.
Has anyone ever ridden like a toboggan before?
I don't think so.
No.
Cool. Well, what if we rode a toboggan with wheels? And he points to like the flatbed IKEA trolley thing and says, "That's gonna get us to the cove pretty quick."
If it's downhill, is it downhill?
Yeah, most of it's downhill from.
Okay.
I mean, we can just feel cool runnings it, right?
One of you just behind, like, woo!
Yeah, exactly. Like, Ollie will fully take the role of Sanka to be the brakeman. Like, not a problem.
Lee just looks at it and looks at Ollie. You sure?
I mean, we're trying to save worms that grow into mermaids to get them back to a mermaid who's fully grown because their grandparent, who's probably a big spiky mermaid, is about to flood the town with an entire ocean, I'm assuming, of water. No. But, heck, why not?
Yeah. heck it, why not? And
We better not forget my dad's bike, though. We'll have to pick up the bikes at the entrance.
oh
Why
yeah,
don't we say that the company we're saving the mermaids from broke it and he can buy a new one because they'll pay for it.
Okay.
My dad always talks about stuff like that at the shop. Like if someone comes in and tries to break something, he's like, "You can do what you want, but you're gonna end up paying for it anyway." So maybe it works the same here.
I guess.
I mean, I can ride it myself if you want to take bikes.
And-
That's
I think Lee's already just like run over to get onto this trolley.
So have you
So,
scooped
we're good
up
to go?
the little baby mer people yet?
yeah. So I think
Yeah.
Ollie like scooped like a little bit of water off the top, and then he's gonna like go in and basically just like clasp under them
Yeah.
to like kind of create like a little hand bit of water with them in it and put them in the drawer.
Okay. I'm gonna need a brawn roll from you just to make sure you don't fall into this giant tank.
Hiya. Cool. So that's technically a 6, but I do have a plot point I can spend, and I'm gonna use exerting energy, which is that I can change my failure into success
Okay.
for a plot point.
Nice.
Alrighty then. So you wobble a little bit, but you do manage to scoop them up and pop them into the drawer. What is everybody doing now?
I think Luke is probably just getting on board with this idea and getting either onto this flatbed trolley or kind of waiting near it to see if anything else needs to be done before they go.
I guess we should maneuver the flatbed trolley like
Before we get on it.
to somewhere where we can get out.
Definitely.
Maybe
Okay.
Melvin does that.
All right. Roll your brawn then for me.
11. 10. Even. No, 11. 11.
Okay. All right. So yeah, you get that into position, with no trouble at all. The adrenaline's still really powering through you. What is Luke doing?
I think once it's in position, Luke will just kind of get on board and sit at the front of this trolley and just with the aim of trying to help guide it if it goes awry at all.
Mm-hmm. And what's Ollie doing?
Ollie's realising that it's a morale, not a plot point for exerting energy, so I'll mark that.
Okay.
But other than that, yeah, he's gonna like just kind of try and help maneuver the trolley into like the best place. He's probably gonna carry the drawer out so that it's not on the trolley, so that it makes it easier for Melvin and others to kind of push it about.
Yeah.
And then once we're in a good spot, he'll like put it on the trolley and just try and like line up everyone in the middle so that like the balance stays the same. Like
I will need a
used to that from,
brawn
like,
check from you.
he's used to that from like hockey and stuff.
Yeah.
So.
You can have an advantage for that because you've got all like the sporty training and things like that. So
Cool. A 12 either way.
Oh, amazing. Okay.
Unnatural, so yeah.
So yeah, you absolutely breeze off of the viewing platform and down to where everybody else is sort of getting ready to be on this little trolley thing, and you don't spill any of the water, you don't drop it or anything like that. You just get down there. What's Lee doing?
Yeah, I think Lee's down to get on with this trolley plan.
Okay.
Right on that. Yeah, heck it.
All right then. So you're all gathered at the trolley. The big garage door is still shut in front of you. And the security people are sort of nearby, but not quite back en route yet. They're still trying to sort out this kerfuffle with, like, are there wolves inside their, like, enclosed space? How did they get in there? Do we need security to come? Like, do we need more security? So they're about, but they're not, like, right by the door.
Is there like chains to pull the bay door open, or is it like just like a button?
It's just a big exit button.
Yeah. So slams the exit button.
I guess we need to signal to Luke's brother before we do anything. You're muted.
I'm muted, yeah. I take it. So the main, like, gate outside of to get out of this facility is closed at the moment. Like the one we came
Yes.
through at the start
Yeah.
that was like
Yeah,
raining
that's closed
stuff.
back
Yeah,
up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Luke will just turn to Lee and be like, "Hey, can I get the key fob and stuff? And I'll go down there and get the door open, and I'll signal to my brother."
Oh, sure. And then hands it over, and as she does, just leans forward to us. If anyone asks, you're Tim Barr.
Oh yeah, okay. So
What,
Tim
the
Barr.
same two people that you saw before?
That's the project.
You've
That was the
changed.
project, just,
What's that
like,
project
changing.
doing?
He's gonna solemnly remove the jacket, hand it over. Pat off the mantle.
Luke will just kind of start heading down, like, in the trees and try and get down
I'll need
near to the gate.
a brawn check from you.
Okay. That is a 8.
An 8, okay. So just to warn you, you are now at 8 out of 10 on your clock before people start coming into work.
Okay.
So yeah, you get down there, you get to the gate, and I assume just open it up.
So once I'm there, probably in quite quick succession, I would do 3 wolf howls and then open up the gate.
Okay, I'll need another brawn from you for the wolf howls.
Okay. No, not again. Oh god. It's a 6 again.
Oh no! Okay, so as you start howling some less than ideal howls, you hear some cars pulling up outside the gates. It's clocking in time, and your brother is nearby, and he kind of gets the hint. He hears the more whimpers than howls, and runs in front of these people and starts trying to distract them. One of them has opened the gate and is about to go in. But yeah, it's that he's trying his best to cause a distraction for you. So they're chatting to him. They're trying to, like, get this kid away from the facility, you know. They don't want him seeing their business, so they're doing their best to keep him away, and they are distracted doing that for now.
Okay. Luke will just kind of look up towards the main facility and just kind of give some kind of signal to, like, hurry up.
Cool. Yeah. I think Ollie just kind of like says to Lee and Melvin, like, somebody sit at the front, somebody sit in the middle, and he'll have like the handle to the back. So basically the plan is that he's gonna, like, run and push it, and then, like, duck under the handle to sit at the back to kind of be the kind of balance at the back so that it doesn't tip nose over.
Yeah. Do you have your rollerblades back on?
No, I left them off. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so roll your brawn for me then.
Good. This is going well.
Snake eyes.
The dice are telling a story.
Yeah. So can I do that multiple times? Hold on.
I think if you've got the
Yes.
points, you can.
Yeah, so it's morale for exerting energy. So I can give myself a second done in morale. So it basically moves it from like a total failure to success with complications. So
Okay. So you push the trolley out of the lab, and the security people do catch on to that you're there. And it's not quite as much of a downhill slide as you thought it was down this driveway. It's definitely more so once you get out of the big gates.
gotcha.
But you're really having to give it a push, and these guys are chasing you. So I'm going to need another brawn roll.
Come on, I can't do any worse, right?
But it's going to be against theirs, so...
That's fine. That's a 9.
Okay, they got a 5. So you do zoom on ahead of them and get out to this gate. But...
Which is cars.
Cars, yeah. So, I'm gonna need yet another brawn roll to face off against the cars and see if you can swerve around them.
IKEA truck. We've all seen it in car parks in IKEA. These things are like tanks, actual tanks. 7.
Ooh, I got an 8.
Whoa.
So
Carl,
you...
Can I help by like leaning to the sides?
Yeah, you can help.
To try and like steer, yeah.
If you roll one more 6, and you can take the highest of the...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah? If you can remember what you rolled just now.
I rolled a 6 and a 1, and I'm replacing the 1 with a 2. So we match now.
Okay.
So helpful.
Meet it, beat it. So you very, very narrowly swerve the front of this car that's trying to pull in. And they're getting out the car and like starting to like try and chase you down, and then they realize, oh crap, I should probably be in the car to chase these people. So you are now being chased by somebody from this facility that wants to clearly experiment on these mer creatures while you're rolling downhill in an IKEA trolley with a drawer full of mer babies.
This just like meta sentence. Like just peak. Just chef's kiss.
Right, so what is everybody doing? You're still
Luke
in the
behind.
entrance,
Yeah.
Luke.
Yeah, so once they've gone past me, Luke would probably just bolt for out the gate and get to his bike and just start following behind.
Okay, I will need a brawn from you for that one. See if you can sneak past the rest, because there's a short line of staff coming in now for the graveyard shift.
That's a 12.
Okay, amazing. Yeah, so you sneak past them. They're very distracted, obviously, by this sight. And you manage to get on your bike, and off you go on the bike chasing after them.
Cool.
What about Melvin and Lee sat in the trolley, on the trolley?
Melvin's just fully concentrating on holding onto the sides and leaning periodically to try and make it turn better.
I think Lee is just staring back at this car, like worried expression, trying to see, can I see anything of who's driving it or who it is who's actually chasing us?
So you see one person who you don't really recognize, and in the passenger seat, you see Tim Barr from earlier. He's having to come in with his friend because he doesn't know where his ID badge is.
Okay. I think Lee just stares, not really able to do anything for the minute. Just go, you're not Tim Barr. I'm Tim Barr. Under her breath.
Amazing. Okay. So, what's Ollie doing then?
Oh, like he's just basically like at the back, just trying to like keep. So like while like Melvin and Lee are like leaning, he's just like trying to like save it from like he kind of leans a little bit to the opposite.
Yeah.
So kind of like when you're steering in like a canoe or a kayak or something. Like,
Yeah.
Kind of make sure it doesn't capsize. So
Like some
he's kinda just,
counterbalance.
Yeah, like he's kind of like stood upright a bit, kind of almost like a gondola, And he's like holding on to the handle behind him, and just if he feels it's starting to kind of like go a bit too far on one side, he just leans the opposite to kind of.
Who has the mer babies right now?
They're on the trolley.
Okay. Is anyone holding on to them, or are they just loosey goosey on the trolley?
I think Lee would.
Okay.
Lee would try and hold him steady.
I will need a brawn roll from you then, as we're
Okay.
rolling down this hill.
Here's hoping. I have rolled so many 6 and 2s this session. So that is going to be 9 total.
Okay.
Nice.
So yeah, they stay in. A bit of water splashes out, but not enough to do any damage. And you carry on chugging down this hill. It's a pretty straight road to the corner you need to get to turn off for Skull Cove. And I'll say that Luke catches up with you on his bike. And you're all just going down, but the car is sort of slowly approaching you because you're literally just on a trolley and they have an engine.
Yeah.
If we keep moving, they can't get us.
So I'm going to need you all to roll your brawn for me again as you come to a part of a hill that just like is suddenly really steep. And you're about to go right down to the bottom of this hill and make a very sharp turn around this corner.
I got a 10.
8.
10.
12.
Amazing.
Nice.
Okay.
Come on.
So you zoom down this hill and make your turn off to Skull Cove. And the car following you absolutely beefs it and crashes into like a tree. They're fine, they're not dead or anything, but like they're gonna have to be probably looked after in a hospital for a little bit. And
Bye, losers.
last I checked, a couple of you have parents that work at the hospital. So you might want to give them a call later. But you guys pull up at Skull Cove. Nobody else is following you because they trust these two to catch you in a car. And you see the mermaid and you see your little friend from earlier, and they're like extremely happy to see you. And like, did you get them? Did you save them?
Yeah, and like Ollie and Lee probably like either side of the drawer, carrying it up towards the cove and just pops it down.
Mm-hmm. So the little babies hop into the moon pool, and the like adult mermaid thanks you and lets out this loud, absolutely like beautiful mermaid song. I need you all to roll hard for me to see if you get sort of subdued. Lee, you're with advantage because it works more on men than women.
10.
Cool.
12.
Okay.
11.
Okay.
10.
Okay.
I got
Honestly,
10.
what a session to be rolling hot in, by the way.
So you all are not, bothered by this. You're not going to be jumping in the water and drowning anytime soon. And as the song finishes, you can tell the message has gotten through to her mother because the water slowly starts rising again. It's not a wave. It's not going to flood the town. It's just creeping in faster than the normal tide would come in, but in no way a danger to anybody. She thanks you again and takes her babies and swims off into the main ocean to go back to her home. What are you all doing?
Breathing a sigh of relief is probably the first thing. Like Ollie just like it's almost like just like full like adrenaline is just now like done, like just shoulders drop, just head flips back and starts like trying to actually now catch his breath after pushing a cart with friends and drawer of two mermaids down a hill, and yeah,
Yeah.
so he's like fully catching his breath.
Okay. What's Melvin doing?
I think Melvin is just sat on the floor, absolutely knackered because he's never done so much exercise, and like the adrenaline, like Ollie, the adrenaline's worn off, and he has like no power to do anything but just flop to the floor. He's the most unathletic person.
And what's Luke doing?
Luke is just kind of staring at the mermaids as they go away. Just kind of quietly say like they could do like that really nice song, but like I was trying to do that howl earlier and it just wasn't happening. I wonder if like there's a way to learn to do that, because that'd be really useful.
You should probably catch up with Agnes about that, because I think it's more than just singing talent you need for that.
Oh. Okay, well I might have to learn a couple things then.
Yeah.
And then Luke will just kind of sit down and dwell on that.
Yeah. What's Lee doing?
I think Lee similarly just kind of breathes a bit of a sigh of relief. Did we do it? And then just looks back over to where Ollie is just kind of, a bit exhausted after all that. That was amazing. I mean, that was wow. You're really strong.
Yeah, a couple of seasons of hockey and some training regime by the coaches. That'll do it. But
Right.
amazing's a word to use, sure.
Scary.
Unbelievable, yeah, is one I would choose, because there's not a single person at school is going to believe what's just happened.
I believe it.
Are we going to tell people at school?
I mean, they're going to have to ask, right? The whole town's just watched this basically skateboard a trolley down the towns. Like, there's no way that nobody's not, like, everyone's going to know about this. Because we also now have to try and figure a way what to do with it, and the drawer from a desk that.
Can we not just shove it in the water?
I think that might be a little bit rude to the people that we've just saved by like, oh yeah, we've just saved the town, let's pollute.
Well, they did just disappear off like 2 seconds after we saved them. I know that they saved the town and everything, but like the cat just rolled. I know that they like saved the town and everything, but they could have been a bit more grateful to us, surely.
I mean, it's kind of the same in a lot of team sports, is that one person might have a good game, but everyone else that played well kind of just has to take the back seat. So they had to do the heavy lifting to stop Morgana from destroying the town again. We just happened to be the facilitators, but yeah, it's just the nature of it, I suppose. We've saved the town, but no one's gonna know.
I should probably tell my dad the sea came back.
Yeah, and don't forget to tell him that they broke his bike too, because I'm sure he can have a good lawyer to like get the money for that.
Okay, so you all head home as it is like basically midnight at this point, and presumably sleep extremely well after this very exciting adrenaline-filled day. When you wake up in the morning, you all go down to the cove just, to see what might be there. And there are some pearls there, each with, in Atlantean, your names written on the pearl, like etched into it. And a little thank you note, again written in Atlantean, that you will have to translate, just saying, like, you know, it's resolved now, everybody's safe, you don't have to worry anymore, and they're so grateful for what you've done, and they'd love to, you know, see you at the Cove again sometime, because they do hang out there sometimes. Then we cut to 2 weeks later. You're back at school, and I would love all of you to sort of give me a summary of what you are up to now in school 2 weeks after these crazy events. I'll go round in my usual order and start with Melvin.
So he's recovered. Like, it took him a few days for his muscles to stop hurting and things. But he recovered. He's just pretty much been reading all the books he can find that relate to, like, mermaids and Atlantis, and even like history books and things about the area around and the sea around where they live. He has literally just, like, delved really deeply into all the lore and everything around it, trying to make sure he's prepared for if anything weird like that ever happens again. He obviously will have spoken to his dad about what was happening in the lab. He'll have mentioned that there was, like, a crate full of toxic stuff, and that they were clearly going to be experimenting on mermaid babies, in the hope that his dad maybe does something about the whole situation, maybe to do with the lab. And he did follow Ollie's advice and told him that the lab broke the bikes. But he would have sneaked back at some point as well, just to check that the bikes were still there or not as well.
Okay. Okay, and Luke?
So Luke is kind of come out of his shell a bit more after all the events. He's kind of being more open with people at school and kind of definitely having, like, small talk with the people that he's met during all of this. He's also got a better relationship with his brother now. His brother's kind of frosty attitude has kind of thawed out slightly. Mm-hmm. They've got a bit more of a mutual respect, and his brother shows a bit more interest in Luke's life after he explains, like, all the crazy stuff that went on. And Luke has kind of started going to this little treehouse on the hill to try and help tidy it up a bit before Xander gets back from their holiday.
Okay. And what's Ollie up to?
Hey, Ollie 100% get grounded for the first of those 2 weeks. Like, there's no question his mum did not, like, punish him for it. So he would have been, like, constantly working, like, school, picked up from school, straight back to the shop, do homework in one of the booths, like, in the restaurant, and then is, like, in the back working. But he's not bothered by it, because he's kind of, like, it's similar to, like, Luke a little bit. He's, like, a little bit of a reformed character, where he was kind of purely focused on, like, his athletics and everything, and, like, those were the people that he wanted to spend time with. He realised, like, how enriching it can be to kind of branch out with the kind of social norms. So yeah, definitely hangs out with Melvin, Lee, Xander, and Luke a lot more. Mm-hmm. Probably, like, invites them to the restaurant to eat pizza and stuff. And probably takes up a little bit more academic studies, because he realises just how incredibly stupid he is in comparison to Melvin and others. Like, he has, like, a certain level of smarts, but when it comes to, like, academics, he's realised that how, like, of a difference that is. Mm-hmm. And yeah, just kind of, like, works with the group to kind of just, yeah, like, help however he can, just whether it's social situations, make them feel kind of more comfortable at school, because I know, like, high school can be pretty brutal at the best of times. So if he can help make that any easier with his kind of status, then he 100% will. And at first, I think for the first few days, everyone will be like, oh, what's, like, Ollie doing, like, hanging out with these weirdos? But he's, like, immediately gonna, like, quash anything like that, and just it becomes the norm.
Amazing. And what is Lee up to?
Yeah, I think Lee would try to hang out with the others a bit more. Probably still, slightly off in her own world a bit. But yeah, maybe invite them along to some of the cooking classes, just see if there's any interest there. And I think one thing that she's been focusing on more is starting to take some of these different ideas that she has for different recipes and things she wants to make and all of that. And yeah, just putting a few more of those things together, trying to share them with friends, having people to test that. And then every so often, maybe in a couple of weeks, just I think 1 or 2 times would have just gone down of an evening to the cove, bringing just a little bag of Tupperware full of some kind of a seafood dish that she's made, and just laying a little plate out by the shore, and just a little note in very sort of awkwardly written Atlantia.
Oh, that's cute. Okay, so as we come to an end, I will say that the facility does get temporarily shut down, though they don't really have any legal grounds to keep them shut down because, mer people don't exist. So how can you be experimenting on them? But, there's a court hearing and some legal proceedings and investigation going on that keeps them out of business for a little while. And eventually Xander comes home and shares with you some of the tales of his adventures with his dad and his brother, and you guys hang out in the treehouse and look at photos and eat some of Lee's dishes and just chat about life and how crazy mer people are and how crazy school is. And sometimes you have to remind each other, you literally saved the town. You can handle this quiz at school. And you leave notes back and forth with Herbie, and she draws pictures for you of stuff under the sea, and is always really excited to hear about what drama's going on at school as she gets a little older. And yeah, life just sort of starts returning to normal. Only you guys have a bit more of a friendship now, and a wider understanding of who you are as people. And I think that is where we will leave it. The town is still full of mysteries, but we're not investigating them any further right now.